Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of DNA Hardwired, common sense turned upside down. My name is Pop, and with me are my co-hosts, Jackie, Aaron, and Alicia. Rachel wasn't able to join us today, but she should be back with us on next week's episode. On our last episode, we continued our previous discussion on romantic relationships. And as usual, we didn't get through everything we had planned, but we covered a whole lot, and it was very informative. And so what we're going to do, also as usual, we're going to break away from that topic from last week, our previous discussion on romantic relationships. We're going to start a new discussion on another topic. Before we get into that, you guys got anything you want to touch on concerning the last week's episode before we get in this new thing?
No. Not right off. I'm ready to go, man.
All right. Sometimes we have unfinished business we can't wait to get to, so that's why I just wanted to make sure. But we're going to pick up that relationship topic again. We got to pick back up on relationships. On religion. We got to pick back up on politics, and there's a few of them that we kind of left. Go ahead, brother. Okay. All right. So on this episode, we're going to look at some other podcasters are putting out there, and some of what I would call some crazy and racist takes on black people by black people. Look like let's see here. Who did we lose somebody?
Yeah, I think we lost. We lost me. I know for sure.
Okay, you're back. Aaron's still on, and I'm pretty sure Alicia, y'all are still on, right? Oh, let me merge. I see here. Let's go ahead and merge. Okay, Jackie, Aaron, and Alicia, y'all still on?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. I figured out what it was, and I'm having to get some new Bluetooth. Anytime I touch them, they're good. Anytime I touch it, for whatever reason, it disconnects my phone.
Oh, no problem.
That's
we may have lost Aaron. Aaron, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so we're all back. All right, no problem. Technology, folks, technology, and we operating on a low budget. Okay. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're using cans and strings, so to speak. So yeah, we're on a low budget. But on this episode, we're going to look at some other podcasters, a couple other podcasters. We have a lot of chats going on, phone chats going on when we're not podcasting. And so we're going to talk about some of those things that we've been sharing among ourselves. Jackie, you're the one who've been kind of sending a lot of these videos. Any initial thoughts on some of these videos that you send? Any thoughts before we kind of get into it?
Of course, I got thoughts on them. But however, the premise to a lot of things that I send, and even with me personally, it's challenging the same old way of thinking that we find ourselves in. We all do it. We may not like to admit it. We all get locked into thinking one way. We don't look over the fence. I get why, per se, but I think we don't grow unless we're challenging ourselves or unless we're being challenged. Just like people that work out in sports, you don't get better unless somebody's in your face. You don't get better unless you don't get stronger unless you lift the heavy weight. So instead of just sticking with one narrative, okay, this is the way it is. So you gotta, Aaron and I had this conversation a couple years ago, and I say, and I'll land. I can't argue my point unless I'm able to argue your point better than you can argue your point. So it forces me to get out of my position and put myself in your shoes and argue your point against my point. That's why some people that are good at debating are great at. I think that separates the good debaters from the great debaters. They can argue your point better than you can, so they know where to hold by.
Got you.
I land.
Got you. And I must tell you, some of these videos you've been sending and sharing, it's been challenging, brother. They've been challenging. And so what we'll do today, or on this episode, is we're going to try to talk on a couple of them. This first one we're going to get into, it's this podcaster. He posted this rant by this black pastor who goes off on black people. And so it's not the podcaster that's going off. It's actually a Baptist preacher that he caught going off.
Good Reverend Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. So and I'll have to tell you, some of these well, I'll get into it once we get into it. Here are some major statements, or some of the major points that this black pastor made. Now, keep in mind, this pastor, he's in church and he's preaching to his congregation of black people. Okay, so here's one of the points that he made right from the get. He says, now keep in mind, kind of visualize a preacher making this statement. I'll try to get into the role as best I can. So he says, has anybody taken the time to look at how stupid black people are? Okay, he led with that. Has anybody taken the time to look at how stupid black people are? Now, just listening at what he said, I have to assume, and you guys can correct me, I have to assume he's talking about all, or at least most black people, because he didn't specify. He didn't say some black people, a few black people. He said, has anybody taken the time to look at how stupid black people are? Thoughts? Just on that initial statement by this preacher.
Well, my initial thing, my initial, it's we gotta get out. We have to understand. Not all is implied. Not all is implied. I don't have to sit here and preface everything I say, so people that fall outside of what I'm talking about, feel comfortable listening to it. We in this country, there's in the late 80s and 90s, women ran around talking about men wasn't SHIT. There was a demographic out there of good men that didn't fall in that demographic.
I agree.
That didn't apply to those men. So we got to get out of this. Like it applies, like every statement, a statement that's made, that's blanket, a blanket statement that's made applies to everyone within the demographic.
But Brother Jackie, you said on this podcast numerous times, you said this about how black women in the past made that statement. And you,
yes.
Well,
black women in the past made that statement that applied to the black men that they dealt with.
So when you made that, when you restated what these black women had been saying, I got the impression that you were thinking that they were talking about most black men.
They can only talk about the men that they dealt with. They can't talk about every demographic, every black man that's out there, because they have not dealt with every black man.
Brother, I'm
that's
happy.
The black men that they dealt with and their circle of friends, when they talk about the men that they dealt
with. Brother, me and Alicia, I can tell you, I'm going to talk for Alicia right now, and Rachel. And Rachel ain't even here. We really appreciate you saying what you just said. That is not all.
But to me, that's implied.
No,
that's implied.
No, brother. I don't think that was implied to Alicia or Rachel, because I know a few times that they had to check you. And they said that's not all.
What?
Now, Alicia, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Like I said, I don't want to put
in that state.
Now, hold on. I don't want to put anything in. Alicia, I know you're there. Am I saying something that's not true?
Yeah, I agree, because I've said before, like, it doesn't apply to all women, you know.
Right.
Even if it wasn't intended, you know, sometimes how it comes off, you know, it could it can imply that's how he feels.
Okay, I just wanted to double check. But anyway, Brother Jackie, you go ahead, finish, and then we'll continue.
We all know we all heard the term too. Shit. What's that phrase? A hit some with holler.
What's that again? I hadn't heard that one before.
Yep.
What is a hit duck, a hit bird, a hit whatever with holler?
A hit dog, I think, huh?
A hit dog, that's right. A hit dog with holler.
Okay.
Yep.
So we know it don't apply to all, but so now going back to what the preacher was saying.
Okay.
If that statement then apply to the demographic, in a sense, the demographic that he's talking about, you don't need to respond.
And you know, brother,
But the stupid people, they're the ones that sit there and complain about it.
Right. And you know, brother,
the ones he's talking about be the ones sitting there complaining.
Okay, brother. But you know what the problem is, and I know we're talking a lot about the black community and all this kind of stuff. Here's the thing, though. His video, his podcast, there are going to be other people that's going to have access to that. And I'll tell you, I'll give you an example.
Right.
I'm very active on Facebook. So, you know, I'm very active on Facebook. And so I'm left leaning, very left leaning. And I've got this right leaning friend who's constantly, and I've told them, please stop, don't do that. I've got this friend, a Caucasian friend, who constantly sends me these videos of these black people, just like this black pastor, talking bad about black people. Okay, talking bad about black people, and they Caucasian. And so how am I going to argue with them about what these black people saying about black people? And so that's one of the problems with a black preacher that's preaching to his congregation and other people are listening. Also, it's a problem to me for some of those black people that's in that audience who may take him serious. Who may take him serious. So that's a problem I have with that. But anyway, so that was one of the statements he said. Then he says, they say they are Muslims. They say they are Jews. They say Jesus is black. Well, I hear a lot of people saying Jesus is black. I don't know whether Jesus is black, white, or what he is, but there's a lot of folks saying Jesus is black. It's not just black folks saying that. But anyway, he said, they say that Black Lives Matter. For what? I don't know what he means by that. Maybe you can help me, brother Jackie. What do you think he means when he say that Black Lives Matter? For what? What do you think he's implying with that?
I can tell you exactly what he's talking about.
Okay.
Black lives only matter when it comes to cops killing black people. Black lives don't matter when the local drug dealer kills another drug dealer.
Uh-huh.
Black lives don't matter when in Chicago over a weekend 20, 30 people, black men get killed. Black lives don't matter then. You're not marching against the community then. Matter of fact, we got a thing in our community. Snitches get stitches. That's the term coined by black people, not white Americans.
Right.
So if Black Lives Matter, make sure they matter every time an innocent person is killed. Make sure they matter every time.
No matter who's doing the killing. No matter who's doing the killing. No matter. I agree, and I agree with that.
Regardless of who's doing the killing.
I agree with that.
If it only matters when the cops do it, kind of hypocritical, coach.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. If that's what the preacher's saying, if that's what you're saying, I agree with that. Go ahead, Alicia.
I wanna say something about the snitches get stitches. That came from the Sicilian mafia, Nuki.
I understand that, but guess what? The mafia out here, the mafia got their own set of rules. When you get involved with the mafia, there's certain rules that go along with the mafia. There's certain rules that go along with that organization.
Correct.
But in our community, and matter of fact, I had this conversation with a close relative of ours, Aaron and Alicia. Aaron knows what I'm talking about. If I see you commit a crime, if I commit a crime with you, you and I sit down and come up with a plan to go rob ABC Bank. I get caught and they ask me who is my accomplice, and I say you, that's snitching. But if I'm sitting on the front porch having an old fashioned and I see you rob the armored car and they ask me who did it, and I say who did it, that's not snitching. That's telling what I saw. And the people that found out that I said something, now my life is in danger, my children's life is in danger, my wife's life is in danger because I told what I saw. That's the problem I got with that. The mafia and the mob, they keep that within house. Matter of fact, the police laws don't investigate because it's just so quiet over there. That's what they're talking about.
All right then. All right. Okay then. Another statement he made. He said that he says, "I've had enough of the Democratic Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men." Any comment on that?
On that one.
Amen.
I agree with him on that one.
So elaborate.
I don't agree with that at all, coming from a pastor.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Absolutely
Hey,
not.
Pop, that's the reason I said it to you from the standpoint of I know how you feel about the Democrats and Republicans. So that's the reason I said that to you.
Well. Now I think I heard you and Brother Aaron say you kind of go along with his sentiments. So explain that to me.
Yeah.
Literally, Democrats are the only party that promotes social programs. Social programs does not promote do for self. Social programs benefit one demographic of the Black community, okay? And by by benefiting one demographic of the community, you only perpetuate the belief that you're okay with them causing their own demise.
So now hold on one second, brother. So you said you feel that social programs pretty much primarily benefits one community. I think you said one part of the community. Is that what you said?
One demographic of the Black
One
community.
demographic.
Okay, and so okay, go ahead, brother.
There's very few social programs that benefit any man, regardless of what the circumstance.
You said that benefits any man?
Yes.
What about Social Security?
Social programs are usually geared toward women.
What about Social Security?
Right, but I mean, we really gonna call that a benefit? It's a program that can't sustain itself. It's the reason why we're in trouble now.
Yeah, but I mean,
one generation pays.
Yeah,
the generation ahead pays for the generation behind.
Yeah, but my understanding is that is a social program, and it helps all. It helps men, women. It helps all. But give me an example. Right. Give me an example of you give me an example of a social program that you feel that don't benefit men. A social program.
Oh, we said this: housing, food stamps.
Housing. So subsidized housing don't benefit men. In general.
In large majority, no.
Okay.
In masses, no.
Well, I'll tell you. My mother. Boy, I hope she don't hear this podcast. But my mother. I'm here in Pittsburgh right now, visiting my mom and my sister, and they both live in. They're senior citizens, but the senior citizen housing is also subsidized, and there's a ton of men in that housing. So I don't want to kind of get down into that too much, but that's basically what you see is that it primarily helps women more so than men. And my perspective is I see it also helping men. But that's one example. I asked you for example. You gave it to me. Give me another example.
Right, but in majority, where do you see social programs showing up?
Well, I have to agree with you. Yeah. I would have to agree with you that in general, I would have to agree with you in general that most social programs probably benefits women mostly. I would probably have to agree with you. I can't argue with that. But I would I would also have to say there's a reason for that. Women, just like blacks.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
We're going to start defending something because we can articulate a benefit as if that program being in existence isn't a problem.
Say that one more
that
time
program may have benefited you. That program, you may have been a beneficiary of that program. I could be a beneficiary of that program in the future. However, that program being in existence is still a problem for the Black community.
Okay. I don't see it that way. I think that most of the social programs that I'm aware of have benefited in general, have benefited the black community, the white community, Asian, Hispanic. I will agree that there's people in all of those demographics that will abuse a lot of these social programs. But the vast majority of these programs, I don't think are being abused. That's just, that's just my thought and my opinion.
But we're not talking about abuse. What demographic or what gender in the community does it typically benefit more, especially in the black community? Is more men on these social programs, or is it more women on these social programs?
I agree with it. I agree that statistically, racial wise, I would agree that many of these social programs benefit the black community more. I would also agree that it probably benefits the women in that black community more. But there's a reason for that, and we can keep going over. We can keep going over this and over it. But there's a reason for this. It's like some folks in this country, and we know who they are. They had a head start. They had a head start. They had a 200-year head start on us. And now, finally, they say, okay, now you go. And so now we go. And along the way, we're trying to catch up. In the meantime, they still progressing. They are still progressing. So we're trying to catch up. All along the way.
I do want to say.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
I want to say something before. Okay.
I'm gonna let you go next, Lee. But all along the way, while we're trying to catch up in the process, they're still putting traps and things to hold us back along the way. I'm sorry. Now go ahead, Alicia.
My bad. I had taken out speaker, so I didn't hear you still talking. I'm sorry.
No problem. Go ahead.
There's roughly 43% of whites that receives government assistance. Do you guys know that there's assistance of 23% in the African American community?
But I get.
We're talking about social programs benefiting women, not the demographics. Social programs in large majority only benefit women, whether they're black, white, Asian, pink, blue, or alien. It don't matter.
Is that men don't go down to get assistance? Because I know plenty of guys that goes and applies for food stamps when they're not working, or when they were in need.
I guarantee you that man whose benefit, when his benefit run out, he ain't got the option to go back and re-up on food stamps. That mother does.
And see, I won't argue.
And you know what that comes with, right?
Regardless of what it comes with, they're gonna say it's a benefit. It's literally a benefit that's still afforded to one group that also it perpetrates that you're going to be okay no matter how bad the decision that you make is. The government will come through and fund it. And truth be told, we as black people have taken advantage of that situation to its detriment. Worse in more. Let
me ask you a question. Hold on. I got a point. This is the point that addresses what you're saying, Aaron. I got a question for you guys, and this is things that we don't commonly think about. Who do you think the government provides more welfare to? Big business and corporations, or the people that we talking about? The demographics that we talking about?
Big business and corporations. We know
let me finish. But let me finish though. Let me finish. Why are we talking about these women who are getting social programs or whatever, when we got these billionaires, and now we got $1 trillionaire, the first time in history, we got $1 trillionaire that's benefiting from the government? Why are we dogging on these women?
It's not dogging on the women. You asked. The conversation was why do we have an issue with social programming? Now, if you want to know why we have an issue with social programming, we can have that conversation.
Yeah, but
if you want to say why we don't have the same issue with corporate America when they get buyout, we can have that conversation. But we're not going to use one and subject to one as if the second position on that is more relevant or less relevant toward the topic.
For me, it
the topic
is.
of is
We're talking
is-
about that.
is-
We're
is
talking about
used to
we're talking about social programs in America. We're talking about social
Right.
programs and who's benefiting from those social programs. I thought we was talking about who benefits from them most, because I've heard you say that. Like women benefits from these social
No.
programs more than men. I didn't hear that.
That's what we're talking about. Big business was part of it.
Huh? Well, why can't
Big
we?
business is not part of it.
Yeah, but I know it's not. It wasn't part of it. I brought it in. I acknowledge that.
But no,
But I thought the discussion was do who benefits most from social programs, men or women? And I'm agreeing with you. Generally, women do. But why can't we talk about who benefits overall more? Why can't we talk about
because
that?
it takes away from the point we're making.
Yes, it
Because
does.
Elon Musk and the Jamie Dimon
Yes, it does.
Bank got these benefits all of a sudden.
And
That
that's the
changes
problem.
The whole conversation.
And that's
You
the
understand
problem.
Why big business gets
And see, and that's the problem.
business
They
don't
got
get-
us. They got
Say
us
what part?
focusing. I said, and that's the problem. They got us focusing
It's
on black women.
We can't
right?
land on that though.
Well, no,
Big
yes, we
businesses,
can.
you would
We need
get
to
the
stop
same-
that.
You would hold on,
Go
you
ahead.
would get the same benefit if you were Jamie Dimon, if you were Elon Musk, because of the amount of people that you employ, the amount of people that you employ,
the amount of taxpayers that you create.
from your hold on here, the amount of people you employ from your company. You keeping people employed, you keeping them off.
Y'all done bought into that same BS. I can't believe I'm hearing you guys say that. Y'all done bought into that same BS. Let me tell you something. Let me share something with you. Let me share something with you real quick. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look at the subcontractors that these businesses help contribute to the workplace. Let
me share something with you.
In this country are written for business owners.
Let me share something with you. This is what drives me nuts. Again, me and my wife, we're here in Pittsburgh right now. We went to Denny's, and I think it was yesterday morning. My wife's sitting here; she'll verify. No, it wasn't Denny's. It was Edward. What was that other restaurant, Boo? There was another restaurant we went to. We'll come with the name. Bob Evans. We're sitting there. We're celebrating my sister's birthday. Anyway, we get to talking to the waitress, and the head waitress. We were talking about the young waitress was waiting on us. She's 16 years old. And somehow it got on how much money she was making. This girl made $2.28 an hour. She makes $2.28 an hour. Now, this head waitress, let me finish. This head waitress, all right, she said that when she was working as a regular waitress, I think it was like 40 years ago, Boo? Was it 40 years? 40 years ago, that girl, the young girl now is only making like about 14 more cents an hour than she was making 40 years ago. Okay? All right? This young girl, she is really depending on tips. If she don't get tips, like when it's a slow day, she don't make no money hardly. Now, this is going on all over America. And we're not supposed to be concerned about who owns that restaurant, the corporation that owns that restaurant. I guarantee you that their as far as the percentage of their income over the last 40 years has risen tremendously. We do need to be talking about that and stop focusing on that young waitress who's only making $2.48 an hour. And that's what I'm talking about here. We're talking about these social programs that these black women are benefiting from. In the meantime, we have a trillionaire and a ton of billionaires. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get into that. And we kind of got off a little bit. I'm going to give you guys a chance to kind of finish up on that point, and then we'll move on to the next point. Go ahead.
I want to say this. They don't make a lot of that information available. Okay? There's a lot of the information if we do research, that would be available to us. For instance, I used to do a lot of research on grants and certain things. I've seen a lot of black women who receive plenty money from grants, plenty men, from grants and stuff. But they do the research, they'll teach the information, but a lot of us we don't act on it.
You're right.
We'll say, okay, I'm gonna go look this up. I'm gonna go do my research on this. We don't take the time to apply because the first 2, 3, 4, 5 times fail.
See, Alicia, you're pointing out another good point too. This podcast, even though me, Jackie, Aaron, Alicia, Rachel, we have different points of view on a lot of things. But a lot of the information that we're providing could be helpful to people. But they're not listening to us. They're listening to this black preacher. They're listening to Charleston White, who's passing on the garbage. They're not passing on a relevant information that could be of benefit and helpful to people. All right, I don't know if you have any more to add, Alicia or Jackie. Go ahead.
Let me throw something right there.
Okay.
They're not listening. Hold on. They're not listening to me. They're not listening to you. They're not listening with Alicia. I remember when Alicia started doing the grant stuff, because Alicia was on grant, hard and heavy, sending me information. I'm just as guilty of what I'm talking about right now. I didn't go out there and research. She said, go look at this, go look at that, go look at this. I didn't do it either. They're not listening to someone like Aaron, who's got accepted to 2 law schools or 3 law schools. They're not. When I was a stockbroker, they damn sure wasn't listening to me. The hardest conversations I used to have when I was a financial advisor and a stockbroker in Phoenix was in the barbershop on Friday, Saturday morning. That's number one. Guess what? They're not listening to that demographic. They're not listening to their mothers. They're not listening to their fathers. They damn sure ain't listening to Charleston White and to a preacher, because they're not even in church.
That's true.
So they're not listening to anybody.
That's a great.
So we have a demographic that's not listening to anybody.
I can't argue that.
Okay.
I can't.
And I'm gonna say this as well to add to what you said, Nuki. You remember, even when I remember when my second grant hit, I was in your house, in your bed, in your guest room.
I know.
And it was what, 15,000? Yeah. And I'm gonna say this part, a lot of it too comes with not staying consistent. That's the one thing I just said to someone the other day. I said, imagine if now I'm having to relearn it again, right? Because once you learn and become familiar with it, you never let up off of it. But I came up off of it because I got complacent. And see, and that's another thing is when you learn the game on it, you can never come off of it. You got to stay consistent with it every day of your life, or set a time every week or every other day. I'm gonna submit 5 grants, my business plan to 5 different, people that's giving grants this week.
Right.
Right.
Right. Watch this. In your own life, you look at let's take you, anecdotal. Assistant in the military, got a retirement check there. Probably a disability check there. Boom, that's out. Then you jumped over to civil service. Assistant over there, got that check coming in. Look at you. You're 70 plus years old. You know you're in shape. I've been around you all these years. So why you in shape? Because you're consistent in the gym. I've never seen you run a day in my life, but you know what I've always seen you do? You walk that same pace everywhere you go. You're in no rush. Consistently, that same individual. That's what Alicia's saying. That's what I'm saying. We know whatever it is that you want to go do, we want it to hit. We have a microwave mentality right now that's rampant in this country. We want everything. We wanted it yesterday. We find ourselves rushing the microwave. Tell someone to they want a baked potato. Tell them to go put it in the oven. Old school. Put it in that oven and cook it for 45 minutes. Was it 45 minutes? I just throw it in the microwave potato.
You know what though? You guys are hitting on something that we're gonna. No, you're not. You're good. What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about what you're talking about now, because I think that is a key. That is one of the issues that we do have. Especially in our community today. And that's something that we need to talk about. Okay, so let me go ahead and we'll continue with some of the things that the brother preacher said. Black men need to stand up and take back our community. I will acknowledge that there's some things that we do need to stand up, and that's kind of what we're talking about now with consistency and those types of things. He said Al Sharpton needs to go. He needs to be off TV tomorrow. I don't know nothing about Al Sharpton being on TV. I don't watch Brother Al. I know who he is, but
I think you heard that on this podcast.
That's another reason I sent that one to you too.
See,
look, man.
Go ahead.
There's a certain thing of aging out of being able to be productive.
I got you.
Like, correct. I have to like take accountability that my time is coming. Where simply put, man, how I feel about the world and where it's actually going ain't gonna matter at all. My time is quickly approaching at 41. I think that simply put, like we miss out on being able to grow as a community by only limiting ourselves to believing or having the same leaders that we've had for 45, 50 years. Al Sharpton was relevant at 19, 20 years old. I mean, from sitting. Truth be told, I don't want a kid who thought that sit-in was a good idea to be literally leading the conversation on race relations for Black people 50 years later.
See, I'm gonna agree with you. I agree with you. We need younger people, 30s, 40s, possibly 50s. We need younger people standing up and taking the lead because the world is different now. I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that. We definitely need, but this was an old preacher. I was ready to use a cuss word, but this is an old preacher. I don't know if he may have been older than Al. Okay, he may have been older than Al up here trying to tell somebody they need to sit down. But go ahead, brother.
Can I ask one question?
Go ahead.
That's the wrong way to even phrase that.
But go ahead.
What is wrong with the way we correct ourselves in-house? See, that kind of correction that we're talking about now used to come with a level of shame that made us the morale of society. Not just the morale of the community, the morale of society. It was always understood, man, when you're walking down the street as a woman with your Black kids, how that white lady said, your kids are just so well mannered.
Right.
We don't have that no more because we don't have men speaking like that no more.
I agree with you.
If you ain't got men speaking like that no more, you ain't got women speaking like that no more. And when Big Mama ain't saying it, you ain't got yourself shit no more.
I have to agree with you.
Women have always been the moral leaders of the community.
Or if you do say something, you about to get shot, cut, cussed out, or something. So I agree with all of that. I agree.
Ask NDRE right now what she going through right now.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree. A lot of good stuff, and that's why I think we'll do a separate topic on some of the things we're talking about now. Another thing he said. This is a good one here. He said children are suffering because they ain't got no daddy, and they watching mama and some nigga they drug off the street and having sex because all they got is that one room. And their 3-year-old daughter is watching sex going on because they only have one room. It needs to stop. Okay, I'm sure that some of that probably is going on in the community, and I agree with him that it should stop. It should not be going on. I can't argue with him there. Free bus rides, rent free. There goes the niggas again. Government, gimme. It's niggas. Now this is a preacher preaching to his congregation. I mean, some of the things there may be some real to what he's saying, but please, God, can't you say it a different way at least? But anyway,
no, he was helping God out at that point.
Hold on, Pop. I got a question.
Okay.
Okay. Have we not been saying that the same way for the past 25, 30, 40 years? I know this was going on before I got here because it was prevalent when I made it. When I made it to the age of understanding, I'm going to go back to, 9, 10, 11 years old. These were some of the same things I was hearing from men then. Not just preachers, just men.
Right.
So I'm understanding that, okay, you don't want to hear this from a church leader. I absolutely get that.
I don't mind hearing it from him. Don't get me wrong, brother. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind hearing it from I appreciate the preacher. He got a captive audience. I think it should be said, and it's good that it's said by the preacher. And I know Jackie has a problem with this, but I just don't like the way he's saying it. He can say it a different way. But go ahead, Aaron.
Oh,
You
no, Pop.
hold on.
Oh,
No way. No way you just said that. Not Mr. I chose the military route. Not Mr. I chose to go through 6 weeks of basic training and having a man talk to me this way to better myself.
What did I say wrong, brother?
You feel that way?
What I just said about what needs to be said in the church? Hell yeah, I said it. Don't get me.
Oh,
See,
come
we
on.
still look.
But
We
your walk
still
is
getting to
something
know each
different.
other. See, we still getting to know each other. We still getting to know each other.
Absolutely. And I love that portion of the conversation.
Yeah.
Still be able to get to know you and speak candidly.
Yeah.
The other side of that is I know why the military wasn't gonna fit for me. I know anybody telling me what to do got a problem with Abraham. You're gonna have a problem with Abraham forever. It ain't just gonna start today. I mean, my bad. It ain't just started then. It's gonna last until the end of time.
Right. See, here's the thing, though, brother. Here's the thing, brother Aaron. It's all about perception. It's all about perception. Let me share this with you. When I was a sophomore in high school, my mama told me, and I believe my mama. My mama told me. She said, "Boy, when you graduate from high school, and you will graduate, you're going to have to leave this house." She was like a mama bird kicking me out the nest. I knew it was coming. So I had to figure out what I was going to do. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh. And when I say Pittsburgh, I mean Pittsburgh. I don't mean no damn suburbs. I mean Homewood. That's what I mean. People that's listening to this, they know what Homewood is, okay? I graduated from Westinghouse. They know what Westinghouse High School is. That's me. That was me. So what I did was I had to figure out what was best for me at that time. And what was best for me at that time was a job. This is the misconception I think a lot of people have about the military. The military is a job. It's a career. Yes, I sure did have people telling me what to do. But guess what happened when I got out the military? Every job I had, wasn't a whole lot, but every job I had when I got out the military, people were telling me what to do. But go ahead, brother.
Yes. Wow. You're always going to have that no matter what industry that you're in.
Yes.
Whether you're an entrepreneur, corporate America, showing up 9 to 5 blue collar. Simply put, that level of it doesn't change. But that military basic training portion, from my understanding, I've never experienced it, and you know how I feel about the military. I just wouldn't go. That's my head up on that. That's why I'm gonna ask me how I wanted to live, and then told me, hell no, you ain't going to the Air Force. So
but you have to understand. See, Jackie been through it. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I wasn't landing there.
Okay, go ahead.
I understand it, but the other side of it is, in order to do that, it was either something that you knew made you better, or something that you was willing to deal with because the other options just weren't there. So if it's good, if it's beneficial in this stance, it's beneficial where you're getting your leadership from. I don't care about so much as message. I care about getting the message. And the message saying that, simply put, man, like our men are pussies and our women are whores. If I just so happen to walk outside, man, I probably don't agree with him. Like I can't think of the last time I just went walking, man, and didn't see something that mimicked a level of truth to what he was saying.
come on.
So like
You see it everywhere. It don't have to apply to you, but you see it when you walk around. Once you start opening your eyes and seeing it, you can't close it. Now, we can get wrapped up in messages, but all our fathers, every one of our fathers, boys that had fathers in their house that was a strong father, he pushed you, he challenged you. He don't give a damn about your tears, because he knew that when you stepped outside that door, you got to be a man when you by yourself, bro.
And let me say this: even if that father came with some faults, we had a level of fear in us that we knew not to challenge that, because they started with us when we were kids, and they never let up. I just said to my siblings not too long ago, I said, we can say what we want. I said, but the values that we have, you know, we thought it was sometimes bad coming up, but the values that we have, I don't see it in a lot of people. And I'm talking about the core, you know.
Oh, we got some peripheral damage. Don't get me wrong. But before I'm
Right.
with Alicia, our core, hey Pop, we may disagree on this phone, but on these calls. But the minute we get off, we call each other. That don't carry over at all.
Look. I can tell who you
And
guys
we still
are.
got that same disagreement.
No. I can tell who you guys are. I can see who you are. I can tell.
It's been a couple times I get out and I call Nikki, you good? I call Aaron, you good? I was like, yeah, of course.
And that's how it should be. And it would be great if the rest of us had those types of values and upbringing and thoughts and such. Okay, so continue.
Watch this though.
Go ahead.
Let me say this, Pop.
Go
Let
ahead.
me add something to that.
Go ahead.
That came from right there to imperfect parents that by all intents, by all measurements, technically should not have been together. They stayed together for a reason that was much larger than them. See, that in lies one of the issues too.
Yeah.
They stayed together for something larger than whatever the reason. I mean, whatever how they did it, they may have done it lovingly, kicking and screaming, cursing each other out every day. There was something bigger than them that kept them together.
Yeah.
Part of that was us.
Right.
So I digress.
Okay. So another thing the man said here was children are suffering. Oh, I already said that part, right? About the daughter and how. Yeah. Free bus rides. It's niggas. You can't trust them.
Let me say something.
Go ahead.
How many times, Aaron, that we can be truthful or we can tell a lie? How many times we by some woman's house and see and they giving her kids diamond pass?
Hey, look, man. Don't put my past in this because they gonna think I was a part of that. Like a lot of that, I was just there. You know, you don't leave when you see the silliness. Like you around there to preserve a few of the values that are still left.
And I'm gonna say this: it's not that you agreed to it, but did I just see what I thought I saw?
Right.
Yeah.
And again, I agree. There's a lot of things the preacher said. I can't deny it. I have to agree with it. But like I said, some of the things he said I don't agree with, and some of the things he said I just don't agree with the way he said it. Then he says niggas. He says it's niggas. You can't trust them. Damn. I have been working with them for 45 years. A nigga just ain't going to do the right thing. They got an attitude about everything. And again, I'm listening. I was listening to him, and I'm waiting for him to say some black folk, or he could even say many black folk. But when he leaves me with a nigga, I'm thinking he's talking about black folks, and I'm thinking he's at least talking about most of them. And that's the problem I got with him. Again, he talks about rap music. You got rap music. He says, you got rap music. Well, I'm an old dude and I love rap music. I'm going to be honest with you. I love rap music. And when you really listen to a lot of rap and you listen to how these folks, these artists, these guys are, they're what do you call them? Poets. When you really listen to it, there's a lot of profanity. We can't get away from that. There's a lot of profanity. But even the way they rap and use profanity in their poetry, that's an art to me. That's just me. I don't get too caught up on words when it comes to music like that. But anyway, go ahead. Somebody else going to say something.
I absolutely agree with you on that part. I think if you're looking for a rapper to be your kid's role model, you are, excuse my French, but you are absolutely a shit parent.
Okay.
Like that is like I listen to a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And truth be told, rap is my favorite genre.
Right.
There's nothing that's going to be better. It's been like that since Tupac and on to Lil Wayne.
Right.
However, I'm old enough now to see that if everything in my day-to-day life, if everything I'm seeing when I walk outside mimics a level of what I hear in music, we gotta change some of the music too.
Yeah. I, I, at a minimum, I would agree with what I think you said at the start, where you were talking about the kids. Where parents allow their kids to listen to rap music. I will acknowledge, rap music is not good for kids. I have to acknowledge that. I can't say that. It's just music. I can't say that. Rap music, I think it is for grown folk. That's the best way I can put it. So I would agree with you that, and that maybe that's what the preacher was saying too. He was referencing rap music with these kids. So I can't argue with that one. He says a youth.
Can I address something on that, Bob?
Go ahead, brother.
When you finish.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
No, I said when you finish. When you finish.
No. As far as the music, if you want to talk, yeah, if it's rap, if it's about the rap music, I'm moving on from that.
Well,
so if you got something to say, I'll let you go.
Okay, no. Yeah, I want to touch on the music thing.
Go ahead.
Now, let's go back about 30 years. Too Short. I think it was Too Short, one of his records. I don't know if it was the Ghetto, that remake he did with Ghetto. Anyway, at the end of one of his records, that was a run that was done. And it was die nigga, die nigga, die nigga, die nigga. So black people stand up. That's what I got from what that preacher was saying. We all know there's a difference between them niggas and between some niggas and black people.
I agree.
There's a difference. So
now you bring it. See, brother. All I got to do is keep listening. See, and that's something you just brought up. That's a very, 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 very good point that people need to understand about us. And when we say niggas, I'm sorry, I missed that one with the preacher too. So go ahead, brother. Keep talking about what you're saying. What did you say about the difference between being a nigga and a black person?
We know that. We don't. Watch this. We don't. Let's be clear. There's some niggas that he's talking about. We don't even want to associate with them, and we black.
We don't associate.
We don't want anything to do with them, and we black.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
they don't have
what they're saying.
You never see them.
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't want the drug dealer in our neighborhood. We don't want the drive-by shooter. We don't want the dude that got 14 different baby mamas. Right. We don't want them around either.
Right. I'm glad you're bringing that up, brother. I missed it. See, and that's what I love about you guys. And you cover my blind spot. That was my blind spot. Go ahead.
Talk about the music. On Friday, I was just listening to Future's new album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And don't get it twisted. Drake got a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's the thing. Dirty Sprite is one of my anthems. However, if I had a daughter, bro, I would never listen to Dirty Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
It would be something that you never.
Who's Dirty Sprite? Who's Dirty Sprite?
Future.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So, because I ain't heard it, so it just popped up. I started listening to his album on Friday.
But also, Future lets you know that what he raps about, he don't even live that lifestyle.
Participate in. Yeah.
He don't. Correct. That's you know what? Let's talk about that too. When the preacher's talking about the rap music, like I think it's okay to depending on the child's age, to let them listen to it while they're around you, because you can help them decipher the information. Just to turn them loose listening to all this nonsense. Right. Their brains can't comprehend and can't filter that information.
Right.
Therein lies one of the problems too.
Right.
We can sit back because we're older. We understand the consequences of acting on that. But a lot of these young people, the 14 and 15-year-olds can't. That's why they need some guidance right there.
Right.
Let me tell you something that happened to me today. Just today, literally about maybe 2 hours ago, my son told me, like, Dad, when I make it to the NBA and I get my first $1 million, I'm going to get you, my mom, and my little brother. I'm going to give y'all all $50,000. I've never asked, my son has never heard me ask a person for money. But his first mindset was what he's going to do when he gets money is give back. Mm-hmm. My comment to him was, if I need your $50,000, just know I failed.
Come on.
He said, huh? He said, yeah. He's like, yeah. I told you, if I need your $50,000, man, I failed somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your money is for you. Take care of your little brother. Take care of the family that you plan to create. But in no circumstances do you think you're going to grow and you're always giving back. There's no growth in giving back. Growth is only going forward.
But still, look at the values. This values that started, from your generations. It's continuing. It's being passed on. You see.
That's not a value.
Right.
That's it's
explain that.
As much as I
have a question about that. Explain that.
Go ahead.
What you mean?
The last thing that we as a community that can afford is to catch the ones that are actually on the way up and force them to support the ones.
And I agree with that. Exactly.
Behind them.
Most fathers don't want their child, don't want any money from their child. Your job is not to take care of me. My job is to continue to take care of you, regardless of how successful you are.
Bingo.
That's most fathers' mentality. Whenever a kid makes it to the NBA, NFL, what's the first thing they say? Number one, they say, thank mama, then they want about mama house. At least this is not a knock against women. Women, a lot of times, want them to buy the house and the car. The father, I don't want your money. I want you to be okay. If you're okay, I promise you, I'm going to be okay sitting over here. Well, I'm still living in that 1-bedroom apartment, or 2-bedroom apartment, or 1,600 square foot house. Dad typically don't want the big house. You don't need it. If you okay over there, bro, I'm cool over here.
See,
Alan said that to me before, and I've shut that off. Because I remember once.
That's why I say I'm not saying you. I'm just using you as an example. You don't want one on the phone right
now. Yeah.
Most women do that.
Yeah.
They have that mentality.
See, me, I have a different.
A lot of times the father does.
Yeah. See, but me, I have a different take on that. I have a different take on that. If I have a child, and for some reason they become wealthy, and if they want to share some of that wealth with me, if they want to give me something, because that's all it is, they're giving you a gift, basically. My daughter, our daughters, they give us birthday presents. They give us Christmas presents. They give us what they can afford, right? And if I have a child who all of a sudden becomes filthy rich, and if they want to give us more than what they had been giving us because they can afford to do that, when I say value, I think that's a good value. A child that I raised that feels that they can give to me, whether it's financial, whether it's emotional. I don't care what it is. It's for me. It's just a matter of giving. Now, whether I need it or not. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not going to take anything from.
I'm saying this. My thing is this. Listen to what I said. I said that there's not an expectation.
I agree with
that father. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I agree with that. It shouldn't be anyway.
That's the only thing that I was saying right
there. I got you.
And truth be told,
if you're okay, I'm okay. Go ahead, Aaron.
If you ever have it once, speaking for my kids, my nephews, nieces, all of that, if you ever have it once, I never want you to experience the feeling of not having it again. And I don't want to ever be one of those people that you drop 50,000 a year off to, 200,000 a year off to a number that would tune to you would be okay today if you had that.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm great with being a part of the story on the come up. I'm not okay with being a part of the story on the downfall.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
I want you to always have it.
Because a lot of times, what you see, the lens of the lens of a solid man. I got to put that in there. That solid man. One thing that what we're talking about, what we mentioned earlier, is typical with that man. It's his consistency. So every time you come around, you're going to get that. There's a reason why you go to your favorite restaurant and order the same thing. It's consistent. So typically, when you come around that man that's solid, you're going to get that consistency from him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I need that, because that is what when that child is on their way up, i.e., i.e., my nephew Aeneas, my nephew Alex, they're going to get that consistency. That's what they're looking for. So regardless of money, they still want that consistency. I don't need your money. You here for you. Even if you put 50 grand in my hand, you still want that consistency from me.
You know what aggravates me, Jackie, just a little bit?
What's that?
Is that Pops pretend like his kids don't have a fund in the event that he checks out of here.
Repeat that again. I didn't hear you, brother.
They don't have what?
You defend it as if your kids don't have a check coming if you check out of here.
Come on now. Come on now.
No. I gotta share this. Let me finish though. I gotta share this with you guys because y'all can't see it. And I'm gonna bring my wife into this conversation because she's sitting back there after she heard what you said. She laughing now, but I'm bringing her butt in. She was shaking her head no to what you said. So do me a favor, explain what you just said again, Aaron, and make sure that it's clear for my wife and me, so that we understood what you said. Go ahead.
I said, you defend the other side as if your kids don't have a check when you check out of here.
Okay. Did you understand that, Boo? Do you understand what he's saying?
That we're supporting them. We're supporting the children.
She got the impression that you were saying that we're supporting the children. That's not what I got.
No, it's called a will.
Yeah,
it's called a will.
No.
It's life insurance.
Yeah.
They're the beneficiaries of the life insurance.
I can tell from retirement of the military that simply put, man, there's a few things that you can guarantee about a person that retired from the military. Their kids have some kind of benefit coming in the event that they check out of it. Their kids usually have some sort of benefit coming.
Well, let me clarify. Let me clarify on that, brother. Let me clarify on that. That's only if the child is a minor.
Fine, it's a minor. Correct.
Yeah. Now, if that retired member, let me lower my voice. If that retired member, which this doesn't matter whether it's military or otherwise, but if that retired member has money in the bank, yes. But other than that, as far as the military is concerned, once that child turns 21, they off the dole, so to speak. They ain't getting nothing unless there's a life insurance policy. But you are right, though. I have to acknowledge you are right. When me and my wife pass, well, hopefully my kids won't listen to this because they may help that happen a little quicker. But
they circling the A.
You don't want no
yeah. But I get what you're saying, brother Aaron. Now my wife gets it too. She understands what you're saying. I'll tell you what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to make one last point on what this preacher said. I'm not going to get to that second podcast today, guys, because we run out of time. Didn't really a lot of good stuff. But here's the last thing I'm going to touch on what the preacher said. Youth today, they are like a bunch of monkeys. I swear to God, black Jenners between 15 and 30, they are like marauding monkeys. They are turned loose, running amok in shopping malls and restaurants, running over things, fighting, shooting, and killing, half naked, sending their asses back to the jungle. Well, now I have to acknowledge that the podcast, because this is the end of it, but the podcaster himself, he did acknowledge, which I appreciated, he did acknowledge that not all black people are like that. So that's what I was looking from the pastor. But the podcast, he acknowledged. But he felt that there were enough of them to take notice. And I think you guys have been kind of saying that too. And I agree with that also. As they say, sometimes one is too many, so to speak. So I agree with that. So last comments, guys, and then we're going to go ahead and close it.
I'll say this. What did Charleston White say? You know what's worse than one nigga?
What's that?
Two of them.
Okay. And audience, remember there's a distinction. I know we've been using that N-word rather loosely on this show, but these guys they brought something to my attention that I have forgotten, and that is there's a difference between those people and those people. So we need to understand that. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're not speaking of all black people when you use that word in a derogatory manner.
Right.
However, the other side of that is even black people realize that there's some unsavory black people in our community.
Yes.
So now, as a preacher, would you expect him to deliver it another way? Absolutely. But we've heard preachers do this. They call themselves speaking to the youth, speaking to the community,
Yes.
using verbiage that they can't necessarily understand. They're not from environments that speak peace. They're not from environments that speak from love. So to ask them to be able to accept it in another manner, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
Like most of these kids only truth be told, those N-word kids that we speak of, man, they only respect another person who truly seems like they're either willing to die or have nothing to live for. You can't strike fear in him. The person that has something to live for, when you walking in the gas station and there's 3 of them outside, you know what I'm saying? Like that's who's necessarily the target. That's the victim. You ain't bothering somebody who got that look on them like, boy, I end it all.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Okay.
Just by your disposition. How many times you been challenged as a grown man by some 15, 16-year-old?
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally.
I can't tell you. Never.
Don't even know what to do
right here. Hold on.
Yeah.
I just told you. Pop walked around Luke Air Force Base. It's the width of his back said, "Hey, buddy, I got time today." The width of his back. The width of his back. You ain't even got to look at him when he's walking towards you.
Well, I have to
look
share.
At him when he walk away.
Look, brother, we're ending this thing, but I have to share this with you. On the trip here, you're on the plane, and you know how the plane, when it lands, they debark. They debark from the front to the back. So what you do is you sit in your seat or you stand and you wait until it's your turn. Well, there's one young brother. He's big brother too, I have to tell you, but he was a few seats behind us. So there was a sister in the row ahead of me to the left. So she stood up. She's getting her bags. So this young brother, he starts to walking past everybody like he's trying to get off the plane, and it ain't his turn yet. So the sister said, "You got to wait your turn." So the young brother, he just stood there. So then I stood up in front of him to make sure that he wasn't going to get past me. But in any event, once we got off the plane, I was talking to the sister and I told her, and I'm sharing this with you guys. This kind of addresses what you were saying, Jackie. I got 3 to 5 minutes in me. That's all I got. I got a good 3 to 5 minutes in me. And in that 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to give you all I got. But that's all I got. I know who I am at this age. I might, like you say, Brother Jackie, I may have a wide back, but brother, I'm telling you, I may be giving away a secret, but I only got about 3. At my age, I got about 3 to 5 minutes.
Well, that's it. Let me say this. Just by your disposition, that dude don't want them 3 to 5.
Yeah. The brother, he just stood there. He didn't give me no mess. But anyway.
No, I ain't talking about him. I'm just talking about the way you carry yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate
your
that, brother.
Disposition.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
The way you carry yourself, the way Aaron walks in, the way I walk in.
Right.
I don't really have that energy.
Right.
It's not meaning like this. I got that energy. It's not how you think it's gonna end though.
Right.
So you're not gonna get that. But just like Aaron is saying, just like you talking about, there's a person standing outside that grocery store or that gas station. They in fear of their damn life.
Right.
And they carry themselves like they in fear of their damn life. Now you the target.
Right.
You became that target.
Right.
So you don't know that I know I got 16 in the clip and 1 in the hole for you, but in that every one I got over here gonna end up in your body.
Right.
With
Right.
So,
right.
Okay. I got 3 to 5.
Okay.
I got 3 to 5.
Okay.
I got 3 pulls per second.
I got you. Okay. All right. We're going to let Alicia go ahead and say what she got to say. We're going to close this out, guys.
Oh, I'm just listening to y'all. I've enjoyed this conversation today.
Well, good. Well, good. All right, you guys, you got any last thoughts? I've enjoyed it too. Alicia. And again, I learned some things today. But go ahead.
What's funny?
Yeah. I mean, truth be told, man, like I feel I learned so much from like listening to you guys and the difference of opinion. Like Jackie made this comment starting the show where he said that the conversation we had was you have to be able to argue that other person's point just as well as them. And man, when I tell you that's something that I prided myself on for forever, being able to take my argument and literally argue the other side and come back with points in my head so that simply put, I can understand where you could possibly go and how to cut it off. If you can't understand the other side, you can't reach them.
Yes.
You're wasting a bunch of time.
Yes.
And I think with this conversation, whether it's for one person or 1 million people, truth be told, man, I think there's a benefit to this. There's a joining of the elder generation and the younger generation, which I am vastly approaching the elder generation. I laugh all the time thinking like, man, I don't get kicked out of the grown up conversation anymore. This ain't. This is new for me. Yeah, man, I'll land there.
All right. Appreciate it, brother. Last words,
No doubt.
Jackie?
Look here. On this phone is 3 generations of people. 3 different generations. And if we can, with all our difference, figure out a way to hear the other person, I know we can do this on the outside. But we got to be willing to listen and be open to the other side of that argument, to another position. So I'm not the best at it. Sometimes Aaron gets off the phone, calls me right back, say, bro, blew it. Pop, there's a conversation you and I never had, Aaron and I had, where you blew it. You get too emotional. Got too emotional. You can let people say what they need to say, cutting them off. I.e., lower your voice, strengthen your argument, bro. Lower your voice, that's your motto. You did not do that today. So I have to go back to the drawing board. So I'm constantly checking myself. I constantly got people around me that holds me accountable. And if you're not holding me accountable, you're not cool with me. I'm just gonna tell you like that. So I learned just as much as I learned, just like Pop, you do. I learned a lot on this podcast from Aaron and Alicia. Not even playing. Rachel too. She's not here. I learned a lot. So I think the moment we stop learning, I think we start going downhill. So I'll end.
I appreciate it.
I agree with that, Jackie.
I appreciate that. I think today's episode was really informative, really good. Got a lot of really good information, a lot of good input. Hopefully the listeners feel the same. Again, as always, listeners, we're always looking for feedback from you. Please go to DNA Hardwired. Common Sense Turned Upside Down. We have a web page out there on Facebook. Drop us a line. And again, like I said, most of you listeners are going to know me because we don't have that much of a following, but hopefully it'll grow. But please, and we have had a few people contact me, give me feedback, and I try to share it on air. But with that, we're going to go ahead and close this episode out.
Let me say one thing, Bob.
Go ahead, brother Jack.
For the people that listen, we reserve the right to pick up the disagreement next Sunday at 3.
There you go.
Right. But Charlie Kirk was right.
Charlie Kirk? You said Charlie Kirk was right?
He started right now.
He was
right now. We're gonna pick that up next week.
He was right. I was gonna throw that in there earlier, but since Jackie left an open door, I'm gonna just go and give us something to pick up on next week. Charlie Kirk was right.
Okay, all
You was
right,
right.
y'all come ready, cause that's what we're gonna be talking about next week. We're gonna be talking about brother Charlie. All right, guys, we're gonna close it out. All right, later.
Absolutely.
All right, yeah. Thanks for listening.
Think it through, people.